Hi there guys, I hope you're all having a good day. Now Anthony Joshua has a response to his doubters and the haters going into his rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. and he has warned everyone that he will say F you to everyone who has doubted him in the build up to this fight. This is what Anthony Joshua had to say. When I win, I will be like F everybody. This is fighting. One loss does not take the spots off a cheater. I came into boxing to fight. I didn't come in to be a journeyman. I've been a champion. I've been Olympic champion. I've been world silver medalist. You can't ask me how I feel after a loss. You have to hold some regard to what you're doing in this boxing industry. That's probably where I'm coming from. And that's where I listen now to when people say it's like, put some respect by our name. We don't play games when it comes to boxing. We're serious, and now, after I have taken the loss, I've had time to reflect. It's like, effing hell. I took this shit seriously. And when asked whether he missed being champion, he had this to say also. No, I don't miss anything about it. I've always said the belt should never define the man. So you have to walk as a champion before you're a champion anyway. I walked as a champion before I even had a belt. You see certain fighters come along. They get to championship level and their whole demeanor changes. You see the cars, the chains. I was this guy before I had a belt around my waist. So when you ask me this question, is there anything I miss? The answer is no, because I'm the same person through and through, with and without the belts. It's championship mindset and a championship spirit. I'm not really someone who has that big trophy cabinet or something like that. This is hustle, this is grind. This ain't about patting myself on the back. So there we have it. That is Anthony Joshua's take on the haters, the people who are doubting him, his critics, and whether it matters that he is no longer champion. He said no, because it is about the championship mindset. Having that mindset before you become a champion means you can reign as champion for a very long time, much as Vladimir Klitschko did. Now obviously, when he says F you to everybody, I'm pretty sure he is referring to his haters. I mean, fighters take losses, it's what happens. I don't know how AJ taking a loss is any different, because when a fighter consistently takes on top contenders, at some point he will come unstuck because of the level that they are fighting at. Is Deontay Wilder fighting at that level? Do we really know his level? Do we know what level his previous opponent was at, Luis Ortiz? I mean, who has Luis Ortiz ever beat? So we don't know what level really those guys are fighting at. Anthony Joshua consistently takes on top contenders. So you have Wilder saying things about AJ, but he can't expect to understand because he isn't fighting at that same level. Look at AJ's resume after becoming champion. So before calling him a hype job for losing to Ruiz, look at his resume. O's often mean a fighter hasn't fought top contenders. He hasn't fought the best. And let me ask you, who has a better resume, Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder? I mean, let's be honest, be real, it's Anthony Joshua. So that is what I believe he means when he says F everyone. He means the critics who are writing him off, who I guarantee will jump straight back on the bandwagon when he wins. Now, the heavyweight division needs AJ, especially after Wilder can't sell a fight without AJ. I mean, why does Wilder always wait for AJ to announce his fight first, and then he sets his fight date a week or two before AJ? Need proof? June 1st, AJ versus Ruiz 1. Wilder fought Brazil on the 18th of May, 2 weeks before AJ fought Andy Ruiz Jr. Then AJ versus Ruiz 1 fight week. He announces his rematch with Luis Ortiz, but with no date and no venue. And then when Anthony Joshua's rematch with Andy Ruiz Jr. is confirmed, he announces a date for his fight, and lo and behold, it's 2 weeks before AJ's fight with Ruiz again. And even then, after doing that and constantly calling out Anthony Joshua and constantly talking about him, his pay-per-view buys were abysmal, as well as the ticket sales, because no one cares about that rematch between Wilder and Ortiz. No one asked for it, but AJ Ruiz, everyone wants to see that for sure. Wilder is so irrelevant, more now than ever, because other than Tyson Fury, who he tried to get before he was fit. I mean, let's be real, Wilder took that fight because he was guaranteed that Tyson Fury just wanted a payday. But still, other than Tyson Fury, what young, hungry challenger has Deontay Wilder faced? AJ consistently puts it on the line against the toughest and seasoned pros that he can find. I mean, look at Andy Ruiz Jr. He could have fought Trevor Bryan and blown him out in 3 or 4 rounds on June 1st. But he chose the best fighter that he could find, Andy Ruiz Jr. And look what happened in the end. But he doesn't mind that because he wanted to choose the best fighter that he could get. I mean, being a champion is about facing all comers. That is why AJ is the biggest star and Wilder is still hanging on to the coat strings of Anthony Joshua. And he always will do if he does not step up and fight seasoned pros like Anthony Joshua. So there we have it, guys. Anthony Joshua will say F you to everyone when he wins his world titles back. And of course, I do not believe that is directed at his fans. That is obviously directed at the critics and people like Deontay Wilder who need him in the heavyweight division. Because let's be real, Anthony Joshua putting it on the line continuously, fight after fight, is very good for business for Deontay Wilder. He needs Anthony Joshua to do that, so he doesn't have to do it. But anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up, and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.